Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and I thought I would go ahead and do a second current events video today, and something we need to talk about. I think it's important. I'm going to kill several birds with one stone here. So let me put on my +5 hat of weaponsmithing, work on skilling up my crafting a little bit, and let's talk about this. Because, you know, I've had someone tell me in the Q&A thread on my Facebook fan page, they're like, how come you always talk about the massive drug abuse in bodybuilding and you disavow bodybuilding, but you don't do the same thing for powerlifting? Well, actually, I have in powerlifting. And I think we need to address that in a minute, that it is actually possible to compete at the world level in powerlifting in some weight classes completely clean, hence the difference between that and, say, professional bodybuilding. But people also have been asking me lately stuff about Eddie Hall again. They've been asking me, oh, what do you think about Larry Wheels? Like, Larry Wheels is everyone's golden boy right now because the guy is displaying some insane feats of strength. And the dude is insanely strong. I mean, I don't think anybody can deny that. And I don't think by even being critical of this, which I'm going to be, I don't think anyone should interpret it as me saying that, well, if I just used as much gear as he used, I'd be as strong as he is, because I wouldn't be, and you guys out there wouldn't be either. You wouldn't be either. Well, let's be realistic about that. All right, there's more going on there than just the gear. There's a genetic component. There's a lot going on there. But yeah, the drug abuse is excessive, and that's something that we got to talk about. We have a real health crisis and fitness crisis in strength sports, and yeah, this does need to be addressed. It does need to be addressed. And I mean, I have personal friends. I have friends, people I know personally, or have known personally, who use 2, 3, 4 grams of gear prepping for powerlifting meets. I know the guys who do this. You know what? And I'll be honest about that. And I don't think that's a real good idea. I don't support that. I think powerlifting is the funnest sport on earth, to me personally. I think it's fun. I think it's amazing. But yeah, it's got a health problem. And we have to be honest about that. We've got to be honest about that. We really do have to think about that. And yes, even the IPF has a drug abuse problem. They can deny it all they want. They can deny it all that they want. But yeah, I want to talk about this because I'm at a juncture to where I'm having to address potential hypocrisies. I'm going to leave that blooper in too. I'm just going to leave all my bloopers in from now on. You know what? Deal with it. Potential hypocrisy. That's one reason I'm cutting down right now. It's the reason I'm consistently losing weight, consistently losing body fat. I actually, for those curious, I'm down to 225 right now. I'm at 225 and I'm going to keep dropping. I want to get to 210 this year. Okay, I think that's a good goal. I'm already down to 225. I started in the 250s when I started cutting. For those who aren't aware of that, I have lost almost 30 pounds right now. All right, since January, February, that area. When I started filming my workouts on camera this year, I was up in that weight range. Now to 225. I'm gonna go ahead and drop down to 210 this year. All right. The reason for that, people are like, well, you're running a fitness channel. You talk about fitness and health. You walk around at 20% plus body fat as a 40-something-year-old man. You really think that's healthy? You think that sets a good example? No, I don't. I don't. And let's go ahead and own that. I'm going to own that. No, that does not set a good example. I haven't historically set a great example there because of quite a few different points I've been 20% or higher body fat. You guys have seen me under 20%. By the way, quite a few times, whether you realized it or not. You guys have seen me under 200 pounds at 2 different times on this channel. In case people weren't aware of that because they don't keep up with it. But, yeah, I haven't set the best example there. And I feel that, again, now that I've got over 100,000 followers at over 60 million views on this channel, and I talk about health and fitness, yeah, I need to set a better example. I'm currently working on it. Already down to 225, still dropping, still dieting, not cheating on my diet. Well, if I'm following diet, I'm just basically trying to eat really, really well and eat a lot of protein and keep my calories in check. If you want to call that a diet, you can call it that. I'm just calling it better lifestyle choices. I think that's a better way to put it. Having better habits. So, yeah, I'm trying to set a better example there, and I feel that I morally have an obligation to do so. And I will own the fact own the fact that I haven't always done that, and that I am working towards doing a better job of that. And that is hypocritical. So I have been hypocritical in that regard, and I'll admit that. And I will work on doing better. And part of that, let's talk about this problem in strength sports. Yeah, that is a problem, guys. You know, people want to talk about all these amazing strength athletes. I mean, Larry Wheels is a big one right now. Everyone's talking about. He has publicly said that he's willing to shave years off of his life to win. Okay? Publicly said that. You know, I can respect strength. I don't know if I can respect that statement. I don't know if I can respect that goal. So people say, are you a fan of his? No, I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of strength sports when we get to a point to where people have got to use large amounts of drugs to get where they're trying to get to. I can't respect that. And I can't be a fan of that. I can't. And I'm not even against modest use. I'm not against anabolics. I'm not against people doing what they need to do to get where they want to go or whatever they feel they need to do for their life. But I'm sure as hell against people abusing 2 grams of test or a gram of tren a week. Yeah, I think that's excessive. And I think that if your goals require you to do something like that, your sport requires you to do something like that, it should be time to reassess what you're doing, and it's time to reassess that particular sport or competitive endeavor at that point, because that's basically throwing your health away, throwing your life away. No, I don't condone that. I don't condone that, and I can't stand for that. And so, you know, if we're going to talk about being fans of different things, you know, I love powerlifting. I love strength sports, but the big elephant in the living room there, how much gear guys having to abuse in the upper echelons of some of these weight classes. All right, I'm not a fan of that. Or the fact that a lot of us in powerlifting, particularly in the heavier weight classes, go up to 25%, 30% body fat. Am I supposed to be a fan of that? I mean, can we talk about health and fitness and then say that that's okay? I don't think that we can. Any more than we can talk about these bodybuilders who shred down to 6% body fat. We have to call that unhealthy. That is unhealthy. That's insane, and it destroys your body. You're not healthy if you diet down to 6% body fat every year for a bodybuilding show. You might look good on the outside, but you're destroying your body. You are destroying your health doing that. It's insane. Being shredded is insane, and it will kill you eventually. It will hurt your health. It will harm you. Bulking up the 25-30% body fat will kill you also, right? For men at least. Women not so much. That could be in the healthy range for women. Not for men. That's not healthy. So we can't disavow either one and say the other one's okay, can we? They're both unhealthy. And I think what we've got to step back and assess is the difference between fitness and competition, because they're 2 very different things. The moment your training and your diet and your lifestyle goes from I'm doing it for me to I'm doing it to win, there's always going to be some health compromise, right? Because your primary goal now becomes winning. Not can I be as healthy and fit as possible. No, your goal becomes winning, and there are going to be times when that might compromise health a little bit. That's understood. That compromises safety a little bit. You shouldn't be getting hurt just trying to get strong in the gym, right? Just getting your squat up to 400 pounds is not a risky behavior. Pushing your squat up to 600 pounds raw might be. See the difference? Well, strong. I mean, no one's going to say that a 400-pound raw squat for someone who goes to the gym doesn't compete anything is strong. That's pretty strong. I think it's a good strength base. And you really shouldn't need to ever get hurt to achieve that. All right, you're not really taking a real risk there of that. And if you are, then there's something wrong with your training programming. But, you know, the 600 pounds might be, depending on the person. So that's the point that we have to look at and assess all of this. You know, what risk are we taking to be a competitor? And I think it's fair to say that it competing at any level in anything could be a risk to health and injury. Absolutely. And that is assumed the moment you step into a competitive environment or you start preparing for a competitive environment. But I think what it comes down to is having some personal responsibility and asking yourself, how bad do I want to win? You know, is the price of winning worth shaving 20 years off my life? 25 years off my life? Hell, more than that. Look at Dallas McCarver over in the bodybuilding situation. Died in his 20s. Died in his 20s. That's not just shaving 30 years off your life, because that's like saying he would have died in his 50s. All right, that's not, if you die in your 50s, you're not healthy. That's not healthy. That's an insanely piss poor lifestyle, or just really, really, really bad genetic factors if you die of a health concern in your 50s. You know? So he shaved more than 30 years off. Man, I'm going to go out on a limb and say I don't know. I don't think winning is worth shaving 20, 25 years off your life, guys. I don't think that it is. And if we don't say that, if we don't come out and say that, then we're not promoting fitness anymore. We're promoting winning. We're promoting competition. And I mean, a certain amount of competition in anything in life can be healthy. I mean, competition drives people to success, right? Competition can bring out the best in us, but it can also bring out the worst in us. And yeah, that's a real concern. I mean, we see it rampant in bodybuilding, and it's more blaringly obvious, which is one reason I'm completely opposed to all competitive bodybuilding. I'm opposed to it completely. But I think we've got to seriously ask ourselves this when it comes to strength sports. It is getting close to getting as bad. It really is. And I guess that we need to assess that, and we really need to think about that in strength sports too, and step back and say, you know, am I going to be a fan of someone? Say I'm a fan of them when I know they're killing themselves, when I know they're using 3 grams of gear. I can't be a fan of someone. Like if I look at someone and I think they're using 2 grams of gear, 3 grams of gear, that's my assessment. I can't be a fan of that athlete. I really can't. And it's not because I'm anti-anabolic. Not that at all. I'm anti people just killing themselves flat out, like dying. Because that'll kill you, man. That will kill you. That's such an excessive level of abuse. You know, trying to get that extra 50 pounds on the bar. Man, there's a point where it no longer becomes worth it, and I think a lot of these guys reach that. And I think it's unfortunate. It is what it is. I don't think my words would matter to them. You know what? I mean, their response to me, you know, if I were to say that right now to Larry Wheels' face, if I were to say that to his face, I would imagine with his drive and his goals, he would laugh and be like, well, that's a weak-ass attitude. I'm going to be a winner. That might be his response, and if that's his response, then so be it. I'll stay out of the man's way and let him do what he wants to do. It's his life. He can go down in the record books, I'm sure. I'm sure he will. No doubt about that he's going to continue to be a ridiculously strong lifter for a few more years at least. At least a few more years, if not longer. And they're going to be very unfortunate if it kills him early. And what more is there to say on it? Alright guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.